Lunatic Mode, Chapter 4 here, gave me quite the difficult time. But we'll get into that in a minute. First, I just checked the enemy stats to make sure that, yes, Catria can double, and yes, Drog can survive a hit. Catria, you'll see, was reclassed to Cavalier here. I also reclassed Palla back to Pegasus, and reclassed Chris back to Cavalier. I think those were all of the major reclassings. Now, in retrospect, I may have been able to let Marth take that thief kill, because he spends a turn where he doesn't do anything in the northeast. That would have required a lot more readjusting of when Ogma does the pull, but I think it could have worked. Either way, he didn't get it, so I'll have to get him experience some other way. Anyway, that crit was not expected. It means I didn't have to heal with Militia, which may or may not have been a good thing. And this miss was definitely not expected, which means I didn't have to heal with Militia again, which probably was a bad thing, because she could use a little more experience. Whatever. It happened. So now we meet, like, Tweedledee and Tweedledum and Ogma, who's actually competent. But just barely. So we burn our first use of rescue here, dragging Marth across the map to get the village. Now I suppose I could have pressed on with Caster here on turn 1. It's early enough that, you know, you could try for the critical hit and just reset. But then again, I did get the weird lucky crit, lucky miss combination, so I guess I decided to play it conservative. Anyway, we pull across the one pirate who can actually be separated from the group without taking the whole group with him. And now it's turn 2. The main squad has almost nothing to do anymore, aside from clog up these forts, because when I see forts, I get suspicious about reinforcements. Now, obviously, in the regular plan, Militia would have healed Catria, and then full moves healed Chris, and Aaron would have just stayed on the fort by himself. I mean, I guess this way, Aaron will be, like, nearly healed to full after one turn of fort, which I guess is something. But either way, I mean, with Mend, Catria and my unit would be close to full health anyway, so I'm not sure how different the strategy would have had to have been. It probably would have been very similar. So we go ahead, we get the javelin toss in, and Palla will sneak the thief kill. Don't need the Devil's Sword over here, so I send it to the convoy. I don't think I actually end up using it, but it's there as an option. And I go ahead and I use the save point because it's close to full range move, and why not? I need to force a crit anyway. Turns out I actually need to force a rather difficult sequence here. I only actually need that one crit, but I do need one of two pirates to dodge Sirius later. And their hit rates will either be in the high 70s or the high 60s, depending on what other crits I do or do not procure. Now, it turns out this run had the most favorable set of crits possible to happen, but I did plan for the less favorable contingencies. It just never worked out in my favor. So I have Ubalo on that mountain, because that way he can move exactly 6 squares to swap out Sirius's weapon if he needs to toss a javelin in one of the unfortunate scenarios. I'll point that out a little bit more as it comes closer, if it's even possible to describe in words. It's probably not, but... So what we have to do here is we have to line up my unit and Catria, equip them with swords, and for some reason the AI likes to target one and then the other one, and it doesn't target both of them with the same set of pirates. Don't ask me why, but... Then we have to have Palla draw off one of the other pirates, otherwise there will be 3 pirates harassing Sirius Agma, and that's just not survivable. And Lady Sword Catria is able to take down that pirate like nothing doing. Now, if Caster hadn't crit that, that's the hunter Sirius would have needed to throw a javelin at to kill. And he would have done that from 2 squares to the east, which would also prevent the pirate from coming and attacking Caster in Caster's position on the next turn, if Caster had needed to be used to kill that other hunter from 2 squares north. Because Caster is just weak enough defensively at base that he's one-hit KO'd by a pirate. But since Marth got that rapier crit, which I tried for just the hell of it, it turns out that none of that needed to matter. So here, Agma draws out from storage a collection of weaponry to pass to Sirius after he recruits him. And obviously we do not attack, because that would be ridiculously dumb. Sirius needs to have a sword equipped. I failed one run because I forgot to equip the sword and put him on the save point. And then no matter how hard you try, you can't dodge 100% hit rates. And I was like, fuck. So I probably should have done all of these other actions before I saved, but I was annoyed at how long it took to get everything working appropriately. So we go ahead, we have to block that fort, because otherwise more pirate is bad. Healing is also good, so 2 for 1. Now I guess I didn't comment on it, but my unit also got another lucky dodge there. If she didn't, she could have just vulneried up. Now, it did take a while to get that miss, so frustrating, but it needed to happen because I was just not smart enough to see any other way out of this in a reasonable time frame without another burn of rescue. That miss on Agma was not necessary. I decided to feed Marth the kill because it's not going to affect his path to the gate any faster or slower, either way. And Marth could always go with some more experience. Sadly, he refuses to go strength, which is becoming slightly worrisome. I don't think he's grown strength since prologue, if ever. That crit was not necessary, but it looked pretty. Now we go ahead and we clean up two of the guys here. Oh, also I had to move Sirius to attack from the west, because one time I just attacked where he was, and then the hand axe pirate killed him next turn, and that pissed me off to no end. I also had to run fail here because Aaron missed his axe. I mean, I had like every scenario of shitty random numbers ever happen to me. I think we just saw some terrible slowdown, which, hopefully given the new suggestions by Toothache, all of those rules will be behind us in the future. Yeah, there's a couple of ways of dealing with this hand axe pirate. The way I take relied on the full health Agma that I was given, but I'm sure I could have done a different mashup if so required. So we just go ahead and we give our lovely my unit a vulnerary that she can use. I guess I was just checking to see what weapon I wanted to trade out. I don't know why I didn't just take the iron sword, because I was only going to use the steel sword, but whatever. Apparently I decided she didn't need the javelin, she'd just one-range it to death. Which was the plan anyway, but... Anyway, Marth moves gateward ho. Now Caster needs to be at reasonably full health here, otherwise he's one-shot. Which is bad, but he can do it. We also have Agma do a little bit of chip here, which he can do only because of the miss. Although I suppose I could have, double mended instead of, double healed or whatever. But anyway, Palla could have survived the hit, so it's really a non-issue. It's just, it gives her flexibility. Again, that's a very similar level to what we saw on Palla previously. We go ahead, we heal up Sirius. Nothing much else to say. Boss pirate misses. Didn't need to happen, but it happened anyway. Because it happened, I reevaluated how I was going to proceed. Originally I was just going to take out the boss with a surefire kill, but now I'm like, you know what, maybe I can test building lance rank on him. Maybe. I don't know. But then I'm like, as long as I'm building lance rank, maybe I'll build lance rank on everybody. I can throw javelins at him, right? They'll never hit. Sounds like a good idea. No, I'm not gonna build rank with any of you guys. But I'll pull you across, get you some heals. Gotta at least try to grow Malaysia. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use Yumina or not. We'll find out. Anyway, I decide to execute Operation Build Ranks, and all of a sudden Catria hits, and that is like, huh? Okay. I don't want to use the Forged Javelin any more than I have to, so I swap out Aaron's Javelin, because he's not doing anything. I'm like, maybe I'll miss both of those. Oh well, Palla gets the kill. Palla's another candidate for early promotion, so I'm not fussed either way. She needs experience too. And then we go ahead, and we're gonna seize. Yay, seize.